Hey, y'all. Welcome to For the Fans, where tonight we are so excited to talk about episode number 4 of Survivor 43, where we got to see a little throwback to the old school days with a camp raid. We got to
Yes.
see somebody talk themselves into being voted out
Yes.
and some really fun moments with some of these characters that I'm really starting to get behind some of them. All right. So, Sheldon, Kevin, welcome.
What's up, Kiley? We missed you last week. Glad to have you back.
Just a little
Um,
sick, feeling
there are
better.
some there's some people in this show that I like even less today, and there's some people that I like even more.
Let me
Um,
guess. You hate Cody. Hate
mhm,
with a big passion.
Not
And
as much as I hate Gabler.
Abler.
Gabler once again didn't come through. It's really annoying with him. And I like even more Carla and Sammy.
Sammy didn't do anything.
I
What
don't
are you
like
talking
Sammy,
about?
but I
Sammy was talking
love
about Sammy was talking about how much he does not like Gabler. And I was like, let's go, my God.
Why are you on the hater train? I
Because
don't get
Gabler's
it.
there's a lot of things show wise. I'm sure Gabler's the funny thing about Survivor compared to like Big Brother is Big Brother because of live feeds. My opinion of you is more robust because I'm watching you for more hours. With Survivor, I understand it's an edited 43 minutes, so I don't have like a deep like passion of hate or dislike for one or the other. Right? Gabler just annoys me on my screen. Whereas having covered Big Brother all summer, there's people I don't like because of watching them for hours at a time.
So hold on. I know we're going to talk about this today, but you hate Gabler more than what we saw from Lindsay last night. 'Cause
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
annoyed me.
it's saying that Gabler annoys him, and
Yeah.
Gabler does some
Lindsay
annoying.
annoyed me more.
But see, Lindsay annoyed me for all of 15 minutes, and then that was it. Like that's all I didn't know who she was. In fact, most of the people on Coco, I don't know who either of the other two girls are that are not
Cassidy,
Carla.
Carla.
Yeah, I didn't know who they were at all. I, like purple because they've been winning, so they haven't shown this tribe, and we're gonna get into it. But like, I think I one thing I do want to state is that for the first 2 weeks, we had extended episodes and we
Yeah.
were able to really dig into these tribes a little bit more, but we still gave a disservice to Coco. And I didn't realize it until tonight when we like got more of them. And I'm like,
But
I don't
but
really know what's
it's
going
not
on with these guys.
it's not that we didn't get Coco. It's that I think the story of Coco is Carla. Like I think that's probably the only important thing, and we got that. And I have to say, I hate septum rings, but I'm starting to like septum rings because this woman is special.
She's special. She's
Yeah,
special. And
she's great.
I think Carla and I think the people um that like really are the story of Coco are Carla, Ryan, and James.
Yeah,
I think
I
those
want
three.
more
kind of.
James. I want more James. And Ryan was actually a little disappointing for me last night, a little bit. But let's talk about the show. Let's talk about the show. Let's go through
Yeah, we
this.
can get all into
Got a
it.
lot
I'm
to
sure
say.
we'll hit on almost all of these people. So this episode picks up. We are going back to Vesey after Cody and Jesse have flipped on NECA, voted her out. Since I wasn't here last week, what do y'all think? Was this the right decision, getting rid of
One
NECA,
hundred
their close
percent.
ally, over
They should
Noel?
have. They should have got rid of NECA, but in the first vote.
Yeah, look. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it because I love her. But she is the reason they lost. She needed to go. Unless they knew for certain that there's some sort of a swap or some sort of a twist, like there's no reason why NECA should have stayed. This is not the time in the game for a
Yeah,
weak physical
unfortunately,
player to be.
and I can't remember. I saw it somewhere on the Survivor Twitter world, and it's something that I think I may have hit on before. But these smaller tribes with these really, really
Yeah,
physical competitions,
yeah.
are why we've seen 4 women get the boot first, because you cannot cut a man like Ryan. You cannot cut a man like Sammy, because if you get rid of that person, then you are pretty much just guaranteeing that you're going. I mean, you may not even physically be able to complete some of these challenges.
And I think that we may not have fully seen it as much last season because we had Jonathan. And like he was just so overwhelming. And I think it sort of hid the faults of everybody, even though he was literally dragging Marianne out from in that boat. But you're so right. And you know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. It seems as though for me, I feel as though the physical strength of the players has gone down from 10 seasons ago, 20 seasons ago. That's what it seems to me. The actual competitions have not. And so you'll get this natural outcome of, well, somebody who is just fundamentally not strong will not be there. Sandra Diaz-Toine in a 6 might not last.
Right.
And it's a loss because the truth is, I don't think NECA was incompetent at Survivor, the game the social game. Maybe not even the strategy, right? But we lost her, and I think there was so much more to see from her. So,
yeah.
Okay, so I do want to say this. She had to have a little bit of a deficiency on the strategy side because you shouldn't have volunteered to do the puzzle again if you so blatantly blew it the first time.
But what was the alternative?
The alternative is that you run up the thing and you jump into the water.
But you would do worse than that. So it's like,
yeah, if you now I get you. I'm not disagreeing with you. If she feels like she can't dive down and unhook the thing, then you can't do that either, right? So like that's kind of,
and that's why she had to go. Like it's not.
And I mean, that sucks, but unfortunately, it is part of the game. I mean, it's not just social and strategic. There is a physical element to it, and especially in the tribe phase where that is more important. You know, once you get to the individual phase, like it doesn't matter. You know, if it's just your safety that's on the line, not the safety of 3 or 4 or 5 other people.
Well, Ed said in the chat that she wanted to redeem herself, and I understood that. I definitely get that NECA felt like she was going to redeem herself. But like, if you come through twice and fail, that's on you, baby. I can't really do much about that. I can't save you.
And look, like I don't want to play the gender card, but it is not a shock to me that the first 4 people voted out were all women.
Right, and
well,
I mean,
if you look at 42. You had Jackson Fox get medically removed, right? But Zach Ortenberger was the first one to go home there. But after that, you had 3 ladies in a row, Daniel, and then another 2 ladies in a row.
And again, like you see these weak individuals, physically weak individuals going home. And the truth is, Gabler would probably be next. Right?
Yeah.
And so it just so happens to be, yes, it's 4 women that were at the bottom physically this time around, but I'm not sure exactly the physical stuff is why what's her name went home. This Lindsay went home
this episode.
Right.
But again, it's still like, it's not like she was so overwhelmingly physically powerful that they had to keep her, like they had to keep Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, the only person physically overwhelming this season is Ryan amongst all 3 tribes.
Oh yeah, he's special too. I mean, like he sucked at kind of like throwing the bean bags and stuff, but then when it got time for him to hoist those puzzle
pieces, he's lifting the net,
throwing them.
Literally like climbed up the rope ladder while carrying a piece. Like everybody
Ryan
else
has ox strength.
2 or 3 people.
Strength.
Yeah, he's crazy strong.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, though, but back to the Vesey Beach. Cody is just, kind of having to deal with his decision, and I am on the opposite end of you, Kevin, because I adore Cody. Like, I think he is one of the best Survivor characters we've gotten in a really long time. And
not the best.
I could disagree. That's fine. That's not shocking. And we get this quote from him of, this is like, my girlfriend dumped me, my pizza man didn't deliver my pizza, and my roommate drank all my beer. And that's heartbreak right there.
Yeah. Look, Kevin, why do you hate him? Like I actually don't get it, because he's a character.
I am a strategist.
Yeah.
Right?
He's a strategist.
He is a strategist.
No, he's not.
Yes,
he is. He is 100% a character. And I'm not a big character guy. I don't like characters all that much. I like good strategists. I like good game players. And Cody is not as good as he thinks he is. And I don't like wild cards. And he's 100% a wild card.
But you don't like wild cards as a player. I
don't like to watch it on my TV either.
I
don't like to watch it on my TV.
Look, I'm not as in love with Cody as Kiley is. I think Kiley would marry him, divorce her husband really quickly. I'm not as hating of Cody as you are. I'm just in the middle, as I usually am between the two of you. Like, I love the fact that he's erratic. I love the fact that he's unpredictable. I love that he's extremely emotional. Like, I love all of those things. It's fun to watch. And the truth is, it's not as though he's playing zero game and he's doing zero thinking. Like he has been part of every time they went to tribal council. He has been part of it. And you know what? I want to see, I'm happy to see him. I want to see more of him.
Don says here in the chat. Don says in the chat that Cody is wearing on her nerves. There's a method to his madness, but no one knows the method but him. I'm not even sure that he knows the method, Don. I think that he
does. I think that he knows the method. Like, he set Justine up with, oh, hey, can't trust salesman, and like he was the one driving that idea. I mean, he got Jesse even saying the exact same thing that he had been driving.
But Jesse didn't send her home because you couldn't trust the salesman. He sent her home because she didn't trust him.
There's a process here that he is doing. That
did you, Kevin? Did you like Tony? Again, I know you hate this comparison, but did you like
Tony Lacos is such an interesting thing because I did not like him early in his playing. I was much more of a fan of Spencer and Tosh.
Yes.
And I was rooting for them on the brains. But then as Tony's stuff became more innovative, like the Spy Shack, like him talking about his bag of tricks, but then having you like look in his right hand and pulling nothing out in his left, like that kind of stuff was like, there was gameplay being happening, but Tony stuff early, not a big fan. When Tony came the second time, I was like, that's what he gets when he like ran around and he was gonna have a spy bunker. I was like, whatever.
So Cody, so what I like about what I'm hearing here is you might change your mind about Cody, because if he actually does something innovative, he might do something, or you might continue hating him.
I could change. I could change.
But
I
so
said it off air, and I'm gonna say it now. Like, obviously, I have my ties from getting my start podcasting with Russell, and I see a lot of, I see it. I see a lot of Russell personality in Cody. I do.
I see zero. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
I don't think Cody is an asshole like Russell was.
Okay, I didn't say that. I said that he has some Russell vibes.
But that's, like, to me, that was Russell's personality.
I am asshole.
Somebody saying that I can't remember. Maybe one of y'all said it, but like saying that he's overestimating his abilities, like that's just kind of Russell. Sorry, but it is.
Oh, if that's the only aspect, then yeah, I mean that's there. 100%.
No, I mean, I think kind of just that little bit of chaos, but with some strategy behind it, and maybe
there's no strategy. There's literally like we're not going to sit here and pretend like there's strategy. We're not
there is strategy.
There is strategy.
No,
there is strategy. Even his approach to the barter.
We're going to get to that point, and I'm going to tell you why that wasn't. Really
I thought it
strategic.
was stupid, but at least it's strategy.
It's strategy.
I guess
and Cody doesn't realize how he comes off to people completely, kind of like Russell. So I'm just saying that there are some parallels there, and
I don't know.
I don't like Cody.
I see far more Tony than I do Russell, but like I just don't know if he'll be able to put it together. Like I don't remember people, and again, I have a bad memory about the previous seasons of Survivor. I don't remember people giving looks to Tony like the rest of the tribe was giving about the idea of him going to the like they were giving him these looks of no, we probably shouldn't have you go. Dwight literally said it in his face. You are going. I don't think you're the most diplomatic. I think I would be more diplomatic. Which, as an aside, it's a very, very blunt thing for Dwight to say and be comfortable saying that. But he was right.
And that's what I'm saying, right? Is that it's very blunt. But if Cody is giving off the impression enough that people can tell him to his face, you're probably not the guy we should be sending. And he goes, "Nah, bro, it's gonna be cool. Aloha. It's cool, bro." And then
Ohana means family.
And so like if that's happening to his face and no one checked Dwight on that conversation, on that information.
Which was
both Noel and Jesse were like, he's got it right. Like that's.
Well, look, what I also like about what 100%, but I also like that in that discussion that they had with one another about what should we take. Like let's
get to that in a minute. Let's go back because I really want to talk. I want to dig into that.
Okay, dig.
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Moving on. So let's talk about the little bit that we got from the Baka Beach. We didn't get a lot from them, but we did get some nice highlights of Kevin's favorite here, Mr. Gabler. And Mr. Gabler is he's going to make a choice. And he decides to lay these palm fronds over his sleeping tribe mates. Like, what is going through your mind? This is not okay. And I promise you, like, they got pissed at Reem on Edge of Extinction when she was putting your stuff out to dry. That's fine. I'm not going to be pissed about that. But if you wake me up, bitch, we are throwing hands.
Wow.
It's they're sleeping. It's already hard enough to sleep because they're sleeping outside. No one asked for a palm frond blanket. And you didn't even make a blanket. You literally just laid some leaves on me. You literally
I honestly thought it was a joke.
Yeah, I don't know what. And then they're like, "What are you doing?" And then he's like, "Oh, it's like a blanket." No, fool, it's not. It's not. You just laid leaves on me. I'm sleeping.
I don't know, y'all. Like, yes, I agree. It was stupid. It was ridiculous. But at least his heart was in the right place. He actually wanted to warm them up.
And then you
he's
get
a nice guy.
No, thank you. I don't want one. And then once the sun's up, he's gonna say, "Were the palm fronds helpful at all?" Bro, no, they weren't. I was sleeping, and she
just had an epiphany.
As hell with him.
What's the epiphany? Tell me.
Cody is Philip Shepard.
Yes.
Shepard had a strategy. He had a strategy that he understood. He was nothing but a character that was kind of grating, kind of annoying. And some people liked him, some people don't. If you like characters, people love Philip.
Philip
isn't Gabler
Philip? But Philip has no strategy that actually came to fruition.
If you watch
pawn, Cody is
Redemption,
not a pawn in anybody's game.
If you watch Fanford's Favorites 2, Philip definitely had a strategy that came to fruition.
Well, but he didn't go to the end. But I kind of like the only thing I see Gabler is more like Philip.
Yeah.
It's this guy.
No, Gabler is like Rupert. Just to be honest.
Gabler's more like Rupert.
Except Rupert at least provided. This guy can't swim. He can't do it. He lies on his rear end and complains.
Get this Rupert comparison out of here. You're right. He couldn't do anything. He's not even like Philip though, because Philip at least people pretended to go along with Philip. No one's even pretending to go along with Gabler.
No, he's a number for everybody. Number strategic. He's not.
No, he's not even a number. He's literally there because they haven't had to go back to tribal council because it'll be.
Well, he's going to be safe next time too because of his idol. But yeah,
like there's nothing they can do. They are just having to suffer through Gablerisms.
We'll be seeing him emerge, and then that means he's going far.
Oh yeah, he's going to be here for a while. But I would be like Ellie, like, you've interrupted my sleep. You're annoying the shit out of me. I cannot hide it. I am not the type. I can't.
But how do you, like, you also have to live with the guy, and you can't be you can't be mean to your roommate, especially if your roommate might be a vote against you. And so like when you have players like this, and there is this archetype of these a little bit strange people, the Reem, the Gabler, the Philip, I forgot her name, she came back for second chances, the older woman, I forgot her name. Like there's all of these people that come back, and like we all have people like this in our lives, and the truth is you could choose not to spend time with them, you could choose not to go for coffee to Starbucks with them, but you don't have a choice. It's you and three other people,
but I think that's easier said than done, because you're tired, you're hungry, and there's no escape. Like, you are with this person 24/7, and that is why they get the different types of personalities, and strategically decide to put, oh, look at Gabler. Like, do you think after a few days he might kind of grind on Ellie? Let's put them on a trial together.
Also
that's what they want. They want the tension.
I also don't love the fact that he's like coming for Ellie. He's like coming for Ellie now, and like wants to fight her for like because she went through his bag one time. Like that was
okay, but here's the beauty of Gabler. Even though he strategically looks at her as a threat and not an ally, he still tries to cover her up with a blanket and keep her nice and warm. He's a nice guy. That's what he's here for.
He is a nice guy, I'm sure.
I never seen he was a nice guy, Sheldon.
All right, but that's pretty much all that we get from Baka this episode, but that's okay, because, there's a hot mess waiting in there to come out more.
I can't wait.
It's building. So, all right, this reward challenge, this is the first reward challenge that we've gotten all season that is isolated, just reward, not tied to immunity.
How do you feel about the reward and immunity challenges, the two challenges like old school Survivor? How do you feel about that?
I like having the two challenges.
I do not.
I don't.
You see so much less strategy, so much less camp life.
Yeah, I fundamentally prefer one challenge because we get to see into these characters. We get to see the relationships. We get to see the gameplay. We get to see the strategizing. I even like when we just watch them do silly things at camp, and it's just like stupid, silly. Oh, I spilled this. Oh, I love that stuff. And the truth is, I don't need I don't mind one challenge. Fine. Two, they had to do it this time because it was the only way that their twist would work. Somebody needed to win the ability to go steal something. So that's the only reason why it worked. But no, one, please.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. Just kind of like some of the nostalgia of hey, this is what we get. We get, the tribe that went to tribal council. We get a little check-in with everybody. We get a reward challenge. We get a little check-in. We get an immunity challenge. There's some nostalgia in doing things how it's always.
There's also another fundamental thing that's now different in the game. It's because the days are shorter. You have less time to have challenges, but maybe more importantly, because they get less food, they might not physically be able to handle two challenges anymore.
Yeah.
So
and I'm sure some of it is like a turnaround time issue too, because these challenges are so massive. But anyway, so we get this reward challenge. My guy Cody comes in looking like Nolan Ryan, pitching some strikes.
Yeah. Who's Nolan Ryan? Who's Nolan Ryan?
One of the best pitchers of all.
Oh, baseball player. Sorry, I forgot that you're Canadian.
Excuse me, I watched and cried that the Blue Jays lost to Seattle, so I am a fan of baseball. I just don't know who Nolan Ryan is.
Yeah. Classic baseball player.
Okay. Yeah, so Vesey, they've got a fire lit under their ass. I mean, I think it's kind of a thing of where they were all like, look, we just voted out NECA. She kind of was like the heart of the tribe. I felt like everybody really liked NECA. And so we got to perform now. This is it. This is us. And they did the damn thing. And they win 10 fish. But problem, they don't have any fire. And our girl Noelle doesn't eat sushi.
Listen. I don't know that she doesn't eat sushi, but we're not eating the sushi that Cody's gonna make here with this 10 fish. But before we get into that, right? So with the challenge,
I am not going to eat those raw fish either.
the challenge goes through, and they like beasted this challenge.
Yeah.
They did.
Like you get rid of NECA, and it made them run, made the challenge run just smoother for them, which was super cool. Now, Ed here has a question in the chat. Should they make the challenges they do more gender neutral? And they should. They should make them less. And I'm sure they're thinking about having a physical component and then having a puzzle component. It balances things out a bit, but it doesn't really, right?
No.
It doesn't really, because the physical component is so major. Like they're throwing the first part that they had to go through, where Ryan fell way far behind, throwing those blocks, throwing the ball and knocking off the blocks. That took a lot of strength, physical strength, to get that done. And there's no way Noelle could do that, because she can't really generate a lot of power with her one leg. You're not going to have, I guess Carla could have done it, but I don't see them having Lindsay do it. Right? Carla has a lot more. She has more mass, so she was able to put more strength into the throw. But like, by them having these challenges be so heavily reliant on the physical aspect, it leads to a almost an unfair advantage.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was hitting on at the beginning, is that they're going to have to kind of go back to the drawing board after, you see this trend of losing a lot of women early, where they're saying, ooh, there's something that we're not quite doing right here.
Is it a gender thing as much as it's an unbalanced tribe issue? Because, like, look, if every tribe had a Ryan, would that make things a little bit more equal? If every tribe did have a NECA, would that make things easy? Like, is it just a balance issue? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I just think that you probably have to make your cast, and then you look at the challenges like, okay, hey, this cast isn't, we don't have anybody. We don't have a Jonathan. We don't have a Ryan. So, hey, we're going to have to scale it back a little bit here. Or, hey, the trends for the last 3-4 seasons have been, we're losing a lot of women early. And that's because, not necessarily just because of the challenges, but because of a small tribe format. Whereas if we have these challenges that are a lot more physical, but we put them in tribes of 10, well, then you can vote out a guy if you've got 2 or 3 more guys that are strong.
Look, I have to say that, like, I've always been a fan of the 3-tribe format. I'm starting to doubt myself. And I used to like it because I felt like we got to know people a little bit better. When they're in smaller groups, we really got to see their true colors. I wonder if an old-fashioned 9-9 makes a lot more sense. Just because I think maybe a lot of these issues might start to go away.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's probably a little bit time for a mix-up.
Or like maybe do a 2 to start, do a swap a few votes in or something, and go back or go down to 3 at that point. But I don't know. I don't know if it's helpful, because look, again, I'm a bigger fan of NECA than I think the two of you are. I thought that we had a lot more to get from NECA. I thought we had a lot more to get from Justine. And to me, it's just 2 potentially great characters that we lost out on.
But NECA goes home first anytime her tribe loses.
I don't know. Like probably
tribe of 9, tribe of 5, tribe of 6.
So I think you're right, Kevin, except let's say her tribe won the first time. And then she would be the one sitting out the second time. Like there are ways around that not actually happening. But yeah,
so
like
kind of like going off of your idea, maybe like I think that we get to know the characters better too when we don't have as many swaps, and you're not like, wait, who was together originally? So I think that you go back to maybe a 2-tribe format with no swaps.
I love swaps.
And then we're able to see these relationships develop. We're able to really get to know the people, and you're not having to be like, wait, what happened before? So I don't know, but
And Don, Don in the chat said, to my comment about NECA and Justine, great characters, but were they great players? And the answer is, I think maybe not. But the truth is, I don't know. Like, I think certainly NECA was actually a better player than Justine. Justine certainly had a lot more of that attitude that I kind of love to watch on television because it's TV and it's entertainment. So I don't know. They left so soon. I couldn't tell. And like, what do I have? Cassidy, who just shows up randomly and kind of says who knows what? Like, I don't know.
All right, so back to this reward challenge. We've gotten off on a tangent. Vessi wins. They win 10 fish. No fire, though. So, hey, Jeff, can we switch these? Of course.
Yeah.
At any time.
Stop right there.
Yeah, what was that?
Jeff said, of course. You can always trade it for something that you previously won. When has this been a rule, Jeff?
Never, Jeff. Never.
Jeff, when I want to know how has this always been a thing you could have done?
Never.
Because you talk about. I ain't been watching this shit for 20 years. Like,
Never.
Ain't no time ever you've been like, would you like behind what we have here, or anything behind door number 2?
I mean, like, okay, so if you win an individual immunity, are you like, excuse me, Jeff, can I please have the merge feast again? I was like that.
My brain went right to the taco bar from Keith Nail and from San Juan del Sur. Yeah. And I was like, can I get those tacos again? Like, can we get those tacos? Can we run them back? Like, is that how that works?
One World, they have the little ice cream shop they got to go to.
Well, I assume he meant from that season, and the truth is the way
No. We get to go back in time. Like,
I didn't mean back in time, but like even in that, I think he means only in the tribe phase anyway. But like, he's like, yeah, of course you can trade it out for anything that you saw before. Do you want the fishing gear? Do you want? And then like second question: do you get like the primo fishing gear, or do you get like the lesser fishing?
The crappy one, right? Yeah. So. Interesting.
What I don't understand about this is why there is actually no, like, I love it when they negotiate and they truly negotiate with him. There was nothing. Like, why would they give up? I would never have started with, I'll give you all 10 fish. Why didn't they start with, I'll give you half the fish? Like, why did they just
can we get half the fish and get the small fruit basket?
Because I don't think this was like a negotiation type thing. I think this
Why not?
I think this was a news to me that I just swapped this thing out.
Didn't they get the fishing gear and the fruit too? Shouldn't they have both things?
Yes.
They did.
Yes.
Exactly, but they didn't because they had to go steal the fishing gear.
No. They got the toolkit.
I can't remember. Anyway,
they got the toolkit.
Right.
The first challenge was for the fishing gear. Second challenge was for the toolkit and fruit. So they took the toolkit and fruit. So do they get the massive toolkit and like all the fruit, or do they get like the few things of fruit? Like, which one is it?
I don't know.
This is news.
Very interesting. All right, so they decide
the 4 out of 3.
Get their fruit, and they are back at camp, and they have a decision to make. Who is going to go raid the other camp? What camp are they going to raid? And what are they going to take? So let's talk about this.
I'm going to inflict the biggest danger on them. I'm going to make them have pain. Yeah, I'm Cody.
It was an interesting discussion because they tell them that they can raid, and first Jeff tells them, we're not going to let them know who's going to be raided until they get there. So then they go back. And when they go back, the discussion is, what should we take? Because this is a social game. So we don't want to take their machete, right? Because Cody's like, we should inflict the most pain and take their machete. And I'm like, this is a social game. We're going to see these people in a little bit. Let's not do that. And that's what everyone says. We should probably not do that. Everyone says that. Everyone's in agreement with that. And Cody's like, I don't know, man. That's kind of like what I want to do. But who should go? Cody's like, I volunteer as tribute because I'm going to go over there and be the most foolish. And it's like, we don't really want that to happen either. Because we're gonna have to see these people a little bit later.
And I mean, I think that it comes down to because he didn't act a fool. He actually ends up going over there and he does a good job. He negotiates and he gets more than
Okay, we'll talk
what they
about what he ended
bargained
up
for.
getting. We'll talk
But
about what he ended up getting. But
well,
before we
but
do that,
Dwight makes the comment whenever Cody is leaving of, I feel kind of like I'm sending my kid off to school and I don't exactly know how he's going to behave. And I
yes,
was like,
yes.
yeah, I'll give you that a little bit. Which I
Now,
love it. Like, I love the unpredictability.
no.
Yes, Kevin, I am a television watcher. I don't want everyone to be boring and straight laced. Like, I want entertainment. I want somebody to go down there and
Chaos.
kick down the
There's
floor. Would I want to play with Cody?
So
No. But it's fun to watch and it's fun to be like,
entertainment though is not just chaos.
he doesn't
So can I just say, like, one of the things I think we're missing here, and somebody who's starting to grow on me, is my girl Noelle, who is blunt as hell. He says, wow, we can eat sashimi. She's like, no, I'm not eating raw fish. He says, I want to go. I'm loving this girl. There's no emotions. Her face is so straight. She says everything that's on her mind. She's not afraid of a thing. And honestly, this is not boring, but it's boring and I love it.
Okay, but to skip around a little bit, kind of. So you have Cody kind of over here by himself of, hey, let's take their machete. That way they can't open coconuts. They can't start fire. Like, let's decimate. And the other three are like, no, we shouldn't do that.
Because it's dumb.
Hold on, listen, let me finish the point.
Never.
Yeah, exactly. No, we don't need to do that. This is a social game. We're going to meet up with them later. But then fast forward 20 minutes to the challenge.
Let's not jump there yet, because I really want to talk about
we are going to tie these two together because you have a complete juxtaposition from Noelle of, hey, no, we don't want to do that to them, but let's make sure single-handedly that we're the ones that make them lose and have to go to tribal council. Because I can promise you that come merge, I'm going to be way more fucking pissed over that challenge than I am over Cody getting some extra limes and potato roots or whatever the hell.
But we're not talking about limes and potato roots when they're discussing it, right? Cody doesn't say, guys, I'm gonna go bluff the machete and see what else I can get. He says, let's see what happens when I get over there. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. And so he goes over there, and the first thing he says, hey, how's it going, everybody? That's nice. They're like, so what are you taking? I did not like how Lindsay was very accusatory.
Lindsay gets a big app for the whole episode.
I didn't like how she was accusatory to begin with. I felt like they should have been more welcoming. But they're like, so what are you here to get? What are you here to take? First and foremost, do you guys think that they were right to go to Coco?
I don't know because I don't know. Like I think their idea was let's weaken the team that has more people so that they lose the next challenge. But at the same point, like the other team had a lot better stuff. And if they were maybe thinking about it, they could have gone and started to create that alliance with that other team there and maybe take something that isn't super valuable or isn't half the machete, half a lime, half a whatever, right? I think there was a bit of a I get what they did, but I don't get what they did. I think there was a smarter play.
I think there was a better move here. I'm with you, Sheldon, 1,000,000%. I go to the tribe that has the more things, and because I watched 41 and I watched 42, and there was no swap. I alone can go and try to forge a relationship with these other guys. They haven't talked to the Coco tribe. Also, the Coco tribe has numbers, so it's easy for us to vilify them. So let me go over there. Let me take something like low key. I'm not going to take your pot. I'm not going to take your machete. I'm not even going to bluff. I'm going to do those things. Listen, I'm here because I have to be here. They kind of sent me. You know how it is. But let's see what we can negotiate
on the Coco tribe.
Right. But I say that to forge a relationship, not to like try to get out of trouble. I say that to forge the relationship. And so then these 5 feel like they can work with us 4 because we are already down the numbers come merge. Because I would be thinking merge should be coming around soon. So we need to do what's best for us come merge so that way we're in a good spot. But if you just want a messy player and someone to just go and make quote unquote good TV, you send Cody to go say he wants your machete. That's what you do. But instead,
So I mean, like clearly though, they've drawn a line in the sand of like, hey, Coco.
and right, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Number one, like we've raided your camp. We're gonna make you lose. So I mean, they've shown their cards.
Yeah.
I guess the only reason, if I were Dwight and Noel, and I don't even remember who else is on that tribe, to send him is if he goes and pisses them off, he's their first target and not them.
Yeah.
Like there might be a longer term play.
Like, what the hell? He asked y'all for your machete. We told him to go and get the fishing gear. Yeah. Like, deny, throw him under the bus. That's what I'm gonna do.
But they wouldn't even have to throw him under the bus. All they have to do is say he did what, and that's it. Because he came off as the dick. He came off as the salesperson, and we saw Carla's reaction, and Carla had the best reaction.
Listen, this whole salesperson thing, right? I am a salesperson. I've been working in sales for 15 years.
And you're a piece of love.
The way Cody behaves is not how I would ever sell anyone on anything. So we keep calling. I mean, in the chat, we had Ed say he's a salesman. He's very comfortable over there. The way he behaved is not what you're doing. I'm doing in sales though.
Well, he played Shark Tank Man. He thought he was Robert Herjavec. He thought it was Kevin O'Leary. He thought he was one of those people.
He took their stuff. Like, was he going to take their machete? No.
Yeah, but
they immediately fold. Lindsay is like, yeah, no, you don't want to take our machete. Like, what can we offer you instead? And he like has him on the ball sack.
I don't think that lime is worth it. Is I think what me and Kevin are saying. I think the lost opportunity of what he could have done there is better than a stupid lime.
Correct.
We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, of course.
No, I'm telling you. Because so you go, because even if he goes over there, let's say he still goes over there, he does the thing because he says, like, I'm just the messenger. I like that. I like that move right there. Like, take the blame off yourself. But go over there and say, listen, they talked about me taking your machete. I don't really want to do that. You need to create social bonds, Cody. Everything's not aloha and mahalo because Carla clocks him. You said it. Carla clocks him. Carla does not like Cody. And
oh yeah, no. Carla 100% clocks him. And she immediately lets the tribe know too, like, hey y'all, he just took advantage of us. Like, we're terrible at negotiations. And he got way more than what he came here for.
So the only thing about that was strange is something that Ed said earlier on. Why didn't Carla speak up during Cody's raid? She said a lot after he left.
I'll tell you exactly why. Because if I speak up while he's there, he may take that machete.
Yeah, and she's very smart. She's very calculated. Like, I'm going to study him. I'm going to observe him. And, kind of like what she did with the beware advantage of like, ooh, let me think about this for a minute. Do I want to go ahead and clock him and clock the people in my tribe of being like, hey, y'all suck. We're not doing this. You know what I mean? So I think she made it.
Because like she said in the episode, like Cody said, he said the moment that when he said I'm gonna take the machete, the moment they go, whoa, we have other stuff for you. Here's our best offer. He already had him by the balls. Right? Yeah. He had him by the balls because he had made it clear that he could come take this machete. And they're not going to like him for it, but they also then gave away everything instead. Yeah. And so...
Can we talk a little bit about how Lindsay was a complete disaster here?
Everything about Lindsay this episode is bad.
Like,
and it started with
so accusatory. And just, I don't know what she was, I don't get it. For somebody who to me seems so socially apt from all of her intro videos, from what I've seen thus far in the game, so calm and confident in herself, I don't understand what was happening. Like, she just to me, that was the end of Lindsay right then and there. Like what, like, I don't know what that was. I was so disappointed. She's my winner's pick. I'm so angry because I picked her. She was my winner's pick. And I'm angry because I feel like I'm an idiot. But like I just didn't expect it, Kylie. I saw what you just said. She said you are.
All right. Lindsay,
So-
we're gonna get more to Lindsay in a minute.
So like we said, Carla ends up telling them, you guys, he worked us and he got more than we bargained for. They gave him some fruit, they gave him some tree stuff to feed him for a couple days. They took off.
Do y'all think the
Well
rest of
played,
the tribe
Cody.
do you think the rest of the tribe looks at Carla as a friend and an ally?
Yes.
Or are they starting to see her as a threat?
Nope.
I don't think so. I think Carla's positioned so well. Like she's got this strong bond with James.
Everybody.
Carla has
Everybody.
low-key Cerie vibes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
I said it early, and like watching her play, she is like
So I agree, Kevin, except I actually think she might be I think she's physically far better than Cerie as well. So like I don't know. I don't want to say she's better than Cerie, but there's
no.
like
Do not be blasphemous.
But
you can't do
Do not
that.
be
But
blasphemous,
she definitely gives off some Cerie vibes. And
do you think that part of it is that she just doesn't look the part?
Yeah, it's very deceptive. She looks like she's got off her couch.
She really does. Like she's got a little belly. She's got a septum ring. Again, I talk about the septum. It's just like this isn't the person who's going to stab you in the back when you look at her. Like, don't judge a book by its cover. And I don't know why I was so asleep on her.
Spoken too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
She's not brash. You know, Lindsay is probably like more of my personality because she is a little more like.
What do we call that type of a person?
Brash.
I can think of another B word, but okay.
Okay. All right. But no, Lindsay didn't come
Beautiful.
But you know, she is the one that is dropping in. What? No, don't take our machete. What else can we give you? Like where she kind of just speaks off of her shoulder. Shouldn't necessarily do that. Carla's so calculated. That's the Cerie vibes. Very, very enjoyable to watch her.
I really like that Carla's conversations are all seemingly one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's quiet a bit, but she's not quiet. She's just sly. But sly in a positive way. I don't know. I love this woman.
She's good at what she's doing.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Good at what
I want to
doing.
see. I want to see more. I want to see more. I'm not upset that she's had such a big edit, but I'm ready to see even more.
All right, so let's get to this immunity challenge. Once again, we see Ryan struggling a little bit in that he can't quite get the little net.
Oh, the immunity challenge. Hold on. Instead of the immunity challenge, man, they got to like put these puzzle pieces. They got to make a square. They got to climb this net thing, throw the puzzle pieces up there, make a triangle.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So
by the way, I love this challenge. It is. I love this same thing is a square, and then it is a triangle. I love it. It was so cool. It was such a nerdy challenge. It made me so happy.
Yeah, these pieces are heavy pieces too. But so we get our boy Ryan. He decides to hold the net up while everybody else is pulling the pieces through. Know your brute strength, son. Get in there and pull some damn pieces.
Well,
and
I didn't get it. Like, why? What was
Ryan's
he doing?
Holding the net.
By holding the net up, it allows them to not have to struggle with this so much.
Let somebody else hold that net up.
No, it was perfect for him to hold the net because he has that strength because he's not going to struggle with the net when he's pulling it through. If you notice the other tribe, Owen and Cody were holding it on the back end. He was just holding it on the front end, and then he quickly dragged his puzzle piece through.
I don't know. I think I even have net strength. So I'm not sure about like he should have done 2 of those pieces really quickly and moved on. I don't know.
You know who did do 2 of those pieces? Sammy at the end when Gabler was falling behind. I don't know if y'all noticed that.
We're gonna talk about our boy Gabler because he's got another moment. He's got another moment coming up. So all 3 tribes basically get to assembling the square at about the same time. All 3 are working on it, and we see Yellow, I can't think of what their tribe name is right now. They're kind of making some progress. And
Baka.
Gabler is like, that's it! That's it! And everybody's like, shut
up.
What are you doing? And they literally tell, I think it was Owen, but I'm not positive. But I think it was Owen. He was like, shut up, man. They are so done with Gabler.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know he was excited, but like, come on. Obviously, everybody is going to look at you if you are cracking the code.
Mm-hmm. Gabler's the worst.
He's not the worst.
The worst.
He's not the worst.
He's the worst.
He's Gabler. He's a character. That's what he's here for. He's not meant for the game. Like he's just fun. But you're right. Like, just shut up. Gabler, leave the palm fronds away and don't scream. Just lift
And
that
so,
block.
I mean, Gabler, like, he's not immediately jumping in, tying, untying knots because he's so gassed. And, they get their pieces up. And then once again, as they're assembling the triangle, Gabler's like, nope, that's not it. And they're like, thanks, Captain Obvious. Do you have any other suggestions for us? I mean, this is a tribe of people that are done with Gabler shit.
Yeah. So am I. Let's move on.
I'm not. I want more Gabler because, like, I love the irrationality. I love the emotionality. I love it all. I want to see some stupid move happen because Gabler just did something stupid. Like, I don't know. It's kind of fun. I'm happy. Carla's going to leave because of Gabler. Watch.
Yeah. All right. So we also see Jeff call out Dwight for untying. And I mean, for real, like, what?
You can't go any slower. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Yeah. Full name. Thank you, Jeffrey. Very, very funny moment. I love that. Like,
but it is true. He was going so slow.
But he's doing his best, and do not call it out, Jeff. Don't put me under a microscope like that.
Yeah,
but
but
Jeff, under a microscope like that, Jeff.
Really slow. Like, I mean, I don't know if any of y'all are watching The Mole, but that was a very mole-like thing to do because why was he untying them not so slow? All right, but anyways.
Is that a twist? Is this Survivor 43, add the mole, drop the 4?
The mole, drop the 4.
I just want to say one thing. It's actually been bugging me. I want the numbers gone. I want Survivor. I want a theme. Yeah. I want, like, this 4th needs to go. I'm done with it. That's it. That's my statement for the day.
I think a lot of people are with you there. But anyways, once again,
why do we need we don't leave Fiji anymore. They got tired of trying to make arbitrary themes.
But it wasn't arbitrary. Every the blacks versus the Asians versus that was the worst one of them all. But then they had a few good ones.
Oh, that's my favorite one though. Cook Islands is that's the first season I ever watched. Y'all don't know.
Really?
Cook Islands is my first. That was season that I got into. That was Yule, and it was the reason I started watching was because it was. I like to call it Survivor Race Wars, and it was so interesting. And then watching the I-24, like that was just such good storytelling, and watching the 4 of them having to fight the white people, that was so great. I loved it.
I don't remember the season that.
That's exactly what happened. It got down to Sandra, Becky, Yul, and Ozzy after Candace and Jonathan mutinied and went and joined the tribe that was already huge because Candace wanted to go be back with Adam and Parvati, and then Jonathan felt like he was tied to Candace, so he. When she mutinied, he mutinied at the last second, which left the I-24, and the I-24 go on to win the next 3 or 4 challenges.
Was a really, really epic comeback.
Yeah, they go on this huge winning streak, and they win a bunch of challenges. And then when they get to merge, I-24 look done, but Jonathan was never like accepted by the white people, so he makes a deal with Yul and comes back, and then they get rid of Candace first.
Let's not break it down into the white people.
That's what happened. That's what happened. But I mean, Nate was over there too.
All right.
Nate was over there too, I guess.
Let's get back onto 43.
Sorry.
Let me just ask one question because I don't remember this so well. was it a hated season while it was happening, or is it the fact that they were divided up by race just something that doesn't make sense in 2022? Because I don't remember then it being like, I kind of remember it being positioned as this is a really interesting social experiment.
So I heard about it on the hip hop station out here, out in LA. I had never watched Survivor before, and then they were talking about it on Big Boy in the Morning, which is
Big Boy in the Morning.
Yeah, which is a on Power 106,
Kiley.
and he was a morning show. He was a morning show host. You had seen Big Boy. He's been on like other. He's
I
acted.
have not seen Big Boy.
I
Yeah, you
looked
just
in the
wouldn't know.
mirror
You just
today
wouldn't know.
and I saw a Big Boy. I can tell you that.
He's been in movies and TV shows. Like you just wouldn't know that was Big Boy.
We are so far down the rabbit trail. Okay,
But wait, let me finish. So I had never heard of Survivor before, and then they talked about that they broke them up by race, which I thought was crazy. So I then checked it out and fell in love with the show and the game, and here I am now.
But you never answered my question. Was it socially accepted then? Because right now, obviously,
It was. I don't know if it was socially accepted, but it was a talking point. That was my point. That it worked. It got me to watch. Like I had never watched the show before. I had no interest. But you had a morning show, hip hop morning show, talking about it, which then at least got people talking about the show. I don't know if it was.
So because we had segregation, Kevin got into Survivor. That's the lesson.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Back into this challenge. We get all three of them up there on the platform together, assembling their triangle. And, it's kind of anybody's race. But like Jeffrey says, once you see it, you see it. And we see our little Vessi underdogs figure it out, and they solve.
Before we get into that, though, before we get into finishing, so when they were climbing up the ladder, you saw how Noelle slipped. That's why I think she doesn't do that challenge, because with those ropes, it's hard for her leg.
Well, sure. I mean, obviously, but they have one each piece.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But what do you remember what she said? She said, "Don't you worry about me."
Yeah. She said, "I'll be fine. I'll take care of it." Yeah.
And that's the thing about Noelle is that she obviously has a disability, but she doesn't have a disability.
It doesn't stop her.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop her. That's cool. But like in that challenge, because we talked about extensively why NECA even performed in that challenge, is because she's like, if I don't have to go, I won't go. But if I gotta go, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make it happen. Don't worry about me. I'll get it done. But that's why I'll just say like, wow.
Well, I mean, Sammy ends up pulling Gabler's ass up there so hard. Like he drug him. Gabler needed more assistance getting up the net than Noelle did. Okay.
Yeah.
They're all assembling. Vessi solves the puzzle. And then immediately, hey, Ellie, y'all need to do this.
Yes, you need to turn it. You need to turn it. You need to move it this way. And then the appalled faces of Coco. They could not believe.
James,
they could not believe they were helping him.
Well, good idea or not a good idea? Because I'm not sure.
So it's a terrible idea. It's a good idea, terrible execution, if you will. I think if you do that coupled with telling them you want to create an alliance together by going to their tribe, you had a perfect opportunity. So you lock those two pieces in together. Fantastic idea, because then you just said let's work together. Then you showed yourself working together.
I agree.
For
but
this,
what was interesting for me about that is that it seemed to be Noelle. Like it seemed to be that Noelle was up there, just said, "Yeah, I want them to do this," and she did it. I don't know if there was any consultation there.
So now, can we talk about the comparison though? Like, I loved this moment. Like, once again, this is fantastic television. Like, seeing the looks on the Coco tribe, like. And especially knowing that the last full season they got to see was 41, where you saw the Blue Tribe never have to go to tribal council until the merge. They're like, oh, no, this isn't going to happen. We're going to make sure of that. But great. It was so much fun to watch. But I don't know. Like I said, me personally, come merge, I'm gonna be more pissed at Noelle for what she did in that immunity challenge than Cody maybe finagling some limes and some roots away from us.
So,
Well, it's interesting because you're right. I would also be more upset with you making us lose. So they didn't, and that's where the mistake is, right? They didn't create an ally per se, but they definitely created an enemy.
there's one caveat though, and that caveat is what happened last episode. Noelle made best friends with James, and I think that connection might be something that is gonna last a while, and maybe she felt comfortable enough in the bond that she created while they were on that journey that maybe she's like, you know what, they might all be upset at me, but at least I know I've got one person cheer on my side.
I don't know. This is an interesting decision. I think a really terrible decision game wise. Love that it happened, but I think it's a terrible decision. And I think that Noelle's competitiveness got in the way. Like she was like, I do not want those bitches over there to take home another trophy. So we're going to help out the loser.
Is it also potentially, like I've said this before, it's a lot easier to play Survivor when you know who your enemy is than when you don't. Is it like, is building that clear line in the sand maybe a good thing for Noelle?
It would be better if she had, like, if there was some kind of agreement that we're going to work to, like, not a verbal agreement, but like even the I felt like if after it's done, you go over and you like high five them, like you've also created an ally, right? And because you've created a clear enemy, you've made a clear enemy.
Yeah,
it's all those people over there.
But
did she create an ally? Question mark. Because
that's what I'm saying. No, that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying.
You know, like in that moment, you're like,
ally.
yes, thanks, girl. But then later, come merge, be like, I can't believe she did that to y'all.
No, that's why you go and high five them, because you got to put them in the mud too. You got to be like, let's go us. Let's go us. We did this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I need them to see us celebrating together.
Now, I have to say, this is where, you know, I would have loved to not have just seen them go back to the losing tribe, but actually I wanted to get the aftermath from Noelle and that tribe. I wanted to see the reaction of that happening from the other two tribes, because there is pieces of information that we just don't know yet. We don't know how they took it. Maybe they didn't take it as it was just Noelle. Maybe, as Ed said, maybe they took it as it's just cooperating tribes. And, you know, I assume we're about to see that in the next episode and the aftermath of that. But I don't know. We just don't have the information, and that's why I like an hour and a half episode.
I think they see it as enemies, right? I think they see it as the Vessi tribe hates us. They came and took our fishing gear. They tried to take our machete. And now they are intentionally trying to make us lose challenges. F that tribe. Straight up. F that tribe.
Does that not perfectly put Ellie, what's her name?
Puts them in a great spot.
Tammy,
and then imagine,
right.
Imagine when they come in there.
Beneficial to them in so many ways.
It's even better because they come in there to the merge and then they're like, hey, y'all are cool. We're trying to go after those guys, the Vessi guys. And they're like, but could we get rid of Gabler though? Like, how do we get rid of Gabler though?
Oh, didn't this happen last season where they made this alliance of like 17 people at Merge, and then they were like, "Oh, we got to get rid of somebody that we don't like."
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? This is why I need more content. More. Give me more. I'll pay for it. Give me more, CBS.
Well, guess what? You can pay for Paramount Plus, and there might even be some deleted scenes that you might get.
Yeah, but it's like 1 year at a time. Give me another half hour. Anyway, moving on.
All right. So Coco loses. Whether or not it was deserved or not, we will never know.
What do you mean? They lost. It was deserved. What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying it may have worked out that way anyways, or it may not have. We'll never know.
Who the hell cares? This is the way it was supposed to work out. They went to work together.
Gio
Blue
said it was
lost.
unearned. Gio said it was
Gio
unearned.
said it was unearned.
I
So
don't care what
anyways,
Gio said. Gio's not made for this world.
we are going back to the Coco tribe beach where we are going to start getting some strategizing. And immediately Gio is like, obviously Ryan's my boy. We hunt the papayas together. And we're gonna fill in James right away. Like, this is who I feel good with. Like, hey, I'm gonna blow on the fire. It's Cassidy.
Yeah.
And Gio was like, I love this. This is so great. I love going to tribal council. I love running the game. I was like, oh God, this is going to be Gio's blind side, and it's going to be really, really great.
Yeah, look, the thing about this that I love is actually where James is.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've been focusing a lot on Carla's position in the game. From what I saw yesterday, this was a Carla and James day. This was a Carla and James tribe, and they're both perfectly planted. I think from Carla's perspective, she kind of understands where Lindsay and Cassidy are. But I have a feeling she wants to actually play the game with James. She trusts
with James and Ryan. She wants to play with James and Ryan. She wants Ryan to be her ox, and she wants to work on the strategy with James. You can tell right there. And Gio's going around saying that all these people he's going to control where they go. And Carla says to James, we're the swing votes. We're the one that's going to decide what happens. We can get rid of,
and
we
Carla
can do what
says,
he wants.
Cassidy's not leaving.
Correct. Right.
So that idea is shut down immediately.
Yep.
So
and Gio thinks that's what's happening.
It's like Gio is dead in the water because Carla has spoken.
And he was.
He was dead in the water. But our girl Lindsay over here is like, you know what? This math ain't mathing to me. Why do they keep talking?
Lindsay, is plans locked in? Why are we still discussing? Why are we still strategizing?
Let's do the Boss and Rob strategy and let's all sit here and survival. Like, plans decided. What the fuck are y'all talking about? And I mean, these shots that they give of Lindsay, where she's like sitting under the shelter and she's like side-eyeing Ryan I think at that point it was James and Carla talking. And she's like, you bitches conspiring against me. Literally the Cat Dunn of Survivor. Lindsay is like, hey, what's up?
Less endearing and less fun.
Yeah, less endearing and less fun.
I also love, though, how Lindsay's like, this is it me? No one has said your name at all. I'm putting my whole game into y'all's hands, and I'm just gonna have to trust y'all.
James,
how many conversations do we have to have about trust?
I am really trying to get you to calm down here because you're starting to make people nervous, and you need to just like take a chill pill. You need to calm down. We're writing Gio's name down. I wonder at what point they actually switched the vote onto her. But when James does this confessional in front of the well, he is like exasperated. He was like, Lindsay, it wasn't you 2 hours ago, but it is now because you can't shut up and you can't stop worrying and you've got, paranoia.
Look, I guess I was very disappointed in Lindsay, my winner pick. However, I want to just say one thing about Lindsay. When you are that paranoid and somebody says you're not the vote, your paranoia says they're lying to me. And so she just went into this horrific spiral and there was no way out. And the truth is, a big part of Survivor actually has to be trust. And it is probably the hardest part of any of these reality games. But the truth is, at some point, you have to trust somebody. And you have to hope that you did the right work. You put in the work to build real bonds, real relationships, and the fact that nobody will go against you. The fact that this was their first tribal, I think, made her over paranoid as well. Yeah. I am not certain she would have done this if this was, one night in. I think the fact that they were all sitting with each other for 9 days, already super paranoid with one another. There was a scene last episode where they were talking about paranoia, who has an idol, who has a this, who has a that. Like, I think it kind of went to her head, and she couldn't stop.
Mhm.
I feel bad, but she ruined her own game.
But Carla gets the confessional of the night for me because she's like, Lindsay's kind of like that drunk friend that you're like, hey, no, you can't go back into the bar. You can't keep drinking. And the friend's like, yes, I can. And that is what Lindsay is. She is,
Yeah.
she can't control herself.
Correct.
And
It was just too much. And it was too much. I mean, Dawn says it here, right here in the chat. She says, what didn't we see? She came across as real crazy.
yeah,
They're
and
telling you it's
gonna
not
get
you.
worse too. But like in her tribal council performance too, like is red flag for me.
Yeah, so okay, so let's go to this because they talk to Cassidy and they get Ryan on board. So there's now a new foursome, an actual foursome that's formed, and there's definitely a 3 within the foursome of James, Carla, and Cassidy, or James, Carla, and Ryan, with them being left in there.
Either way.
Right, because at this point, Gio is convinced I got them all in my pocket. I got Cassidy going home tonight. And I don't give a fuck what happens because I'm about to go be nasty at her because she going home. As far as Lindsay's concerned, the vote is for sure Gio. So we're voting Gio. That's how the vote's going to go. The 4 of them in the middle are like, we're going to decide what we're going to do tonight. So we go to tribal council.
They are amazed at this setup.
I loved it. Wow. I loved it. These are fans. These are fans. And they're like, this is what tribal council looks like. This is phenomenal. I loved it.
Ryan was I use this word like with love and not to demean him. He was a kid. Yeah. He was a kid at the playground, walking up to vote with that. Oh, look at this room here! Like it was the coolest thing to watch. I love it.
It was really cool to get to see all of these people just genuinely excited about where they are, the whole cool setup. But yeah, so we get into tribal council and. Without knowing where the vote is going to go, when Jeff kind of opens up the floor for talking and Lindsay is like, yeah, well, I would like to know if there's anybody that wants to own up as to why they did not want to strategize with me today. I was like, oh my God, what is you doing? And she thinks she's staying at this moment. Like she clearly, yeah.
Your tribals where you come and air out your grievances. So she wanted to come talk about things.
Look, the other part about this is if she was truly as strategic as I hoped that she would be in this game.
I told you.
I was wrong. I'll take that. But if she was really as strategic as she thought she would have shut her mouth so that people think she is an idol. And that didn't happen. They had no fear that she would have an idol if they would vote her out. There was no sign of it.
Just completely spiraled. And it continues in this tribal council. Like, especially whenever you're okay, if you think that you're staying, like, okay, that's great, fine. But you know that Ryan is staying. Like, from your mindset, y'all are voting out Gio. So, like, why are you gonna call Ryan out? And Jeff is like, hey, Gio, what do you think about like this, infighting amongst your tribe mates? And Gio's like, as long as it's not me, I don't care what's happening.
This is a very strange answer to me because, a second before when they walked in, we saw what super fans they are. And then his response basically says, I am Sandra Diaz Twine. That's exactly how I'm going to play the game. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And if I was there, I'd be like, ooh, red flags.
Well, I don't think that there's necessarily the parallel there, but that's one of those phrases that you just probably don't say anybody but me, because that is, like as tied to Survivor as, light your torch and, dip it in and get fire because fire represents your life.
It's also a clear sign that, hey, I'm working with you. No, I could be going against you next time.
I think it's a clear sign that I have a plan. I'm just not telling it.
Yeah, no, I think that, like that's something so synonymous with Survivor that you just don't say those words. You say, oh man, like it's rough because like these people are my family. Like you go with another non-answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
interesting. But anyways, time to vote.
Well, before we vote, Gio also went at Cassidy a little bit. He was a little snippy to Cassidy because he thought she was going home.
I missed this. What did he do?
He had a few words for her. There was a lot more attitude in that direction when they were doing the answers. I don't have it like one hand, but he was just a little snippy, just nothing crazy. But I think he thought he was going home, so it wasn't going to be that big of a deal. Then we get to the time to vote.
Yeah, so time to vote. They get up there. No idols, no advantages, no shot in the dark. We get to the reading of the votes. And when these first 3 votes come out, I was like, I don't know what's happening. Because you obviously expected to see the Geo. And okay, we see a Cassidy, but when they dropped the Lindsay in there too, I was like, okay, I don't know. And I had to go back and watch who actually voted for who because I was confused at the end of this.
Well, right before Tribal, Carla talks to Ryan and tells him, "Hey, because remember, James talks to Cassidy, and Carla talks to Ryan and lets them know, hey, listen, Lindsay's been a little wild over here." And so that's
so,
why I think that's what
I just assumed until I, went back and watched today where the vote, who all voted where. I just assumed that it was Carla, James went with Gio and Ryan. But plot twist, that is not what happened. We see Cassidy write down her ally, Lindsay's name. We see Carla, James, Ryan also write down Lindsay. Gio writes down Cassidy. So now Gio's out here completely isolated. So, he could be an easy target next time. That's who we wanted to get rid of anyways. So hey, why don't the 4 of us just go ahead and start working together? Yep. Very interesting.
And I think that is the solid group, actually. Like the 4 of them together, I think are, if they actually do and can stay together, I would consider them far stronger as a 4 than any other 3, 4. Like that is a really strong team. I think they actually truly would be loyal to each other. I don't know. I think that's going to be.
Well, I think you've got Ryan, who's like a super loyal dude. And then, you've got Carla and James that are so strategic. And, we just don't really know a lot about Cassidy as a game player yet.
Is Cassidy going to win this game?
Yes.
What? No.
She is. So we can get into that in a second. So that is our episode.
How's Cassidy going to win this game?
So, as you know, Kevin, I have to score these episodes for our fantasy draft. And I was a bit behind, so I had to watch a couple episodes today to catch up. And Cassidy, to me, is getting like an Erica edit. She gets a confessional every episode. We've not had any time go by where we don't get a word from Cassidy. And, it could be very much non-game related. Like she's not giving like these confessionals that are fire where you're just like, oh my God, that's so entertaining. Like, Carla, entertaining. Cody, entertaining. Dwight, entertaining. Sammy, entertaining. But Cassidy's are like, oh yeah, well, this tribe, we're all just really getting along well together. And like, that's the only confessional we get from Blue. And so I feel like I'm just completely reading into the strategy because we don't know a lot about her yet. And, at this point in time, you've got Carla who got to go on the adventure. Carla has found the idol. Like it's been all about Carla, but we get a little bit of Cassidy every single episode. And I think that she's like my dark horse winner. I don't want her to win.
Cassidy and Lindsay, I had no idea who they were until tonight.
Well, that's fine.
I have no idea that we're seeing. It's been 4 episodes. It's been 4 episodes. I don't remember Cassidy in any of the other 3 episodes.
That's fine. You don't have to because she's there.
Like,
Yeah, look, I look. Obviously, we don't know who's going to win. I don't.
Right. I'm
we don't
completely
know.
reading into the edit, and I could be wrong. I hope that I'm wrong.
but
because I
the
thought
edit
about-
you're reading into is because of like Erica was extremely under edited, and so your philosophy is that now the under edited person
Yes,
will win.
yes, that's what she
No, I
said.
think that
It was just so odd
she's.
to me.
I think
But
that
it
they're
happened.
giving her what they
One
can
time.
right now.
One
and the
time,
story's not about
42
her.
seasons, 42 seasons, one time. Other than Natalie beating Russell,
What I will say is that the moments I do see her, I think there's more that we haven't seen about her. I want to see more. Give me more. Kevin, don't be a hater.
Sheldon, the amount of times you keep telling me that there's more to these people. Yes, of course there's more, but we're seeing the best pieces. We're seeing.
No,
what they
I
thought
don't
the
think
best.
we are. I want more.
We're
I
seeing
want
the
more.
best.
I want more. I want
Then you
more.
need to be. You need Survivor live feeds. Okay,
I'm
that's
a
what you
glutton.
need. That's what you need. You need
I
Survivor
don't
live.
want it to happen. I mean, I don't really care about Cassidy either way. Like, I'm not against Cassidy. I'm not for Cassidy. I've got about 8 people
You
that
have
I
no
want to see.
emotions. She makes you feel
Well, I
nothing.
want to see about 8 people win more than Cassidy. But
Yeah.
at this point in time, I think that they're giving her as much of an edit as they can, in that we've had basically 3.5 hours of Survivor that they did not go to tribal council. We've gotten a little bit of Cassidy in every single episode. And then what we had gotten from Coco in the first 3 episodes were so centered around Carla. Like, you can't not tell Carla's story of finding the idol and, oh, hey, I've put the Beware Advantage back and now I've got to get the beads, and she gets to take the journey. You have to highlight Carla in these episodes. And I would rather see a Carla win, but I'm just saying what I see. I'm like, why? Why are they giving these nonsensical confessionals to Cassidy?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. And I may grow to love her. I don't have any feelings about her one way or another.
You said she's going to probably win the game. And that's, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
Right.
Well, we'll see it. We'll see it when she wins the game. And you know what? If she doesn't, we won't see it. That's just the way it is.
Thank you, Sheldon.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. All right. Was there anything on, next time on Survivor that stuck out to y'all?
Well, Gio was pissed.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the fallout, because I think Gio is, a little firecracker. And so he's not going to take this very well.
What I'm interested in is the impact on what happened with his relationship with Ryan. Because they obviously
Ryan
seem
was
quite
in on the
close.
vote. Gio was not.
So why wouldn't Ryan tell him? Like if these two were supposed to be brothers that understood each other and were together, like what the heck is going to happen? Like I do wonder if we have a little bit of a Jesse Dwight. I think those are the right people. Like, is this a little bit of a someone else is signing the divorce papers this time? Like, while the bromances are going crazy. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm ready for a swap, folks. I'm ready.
There's not going to be a swap. There's no swap.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the fallout of that. It's going to be interesting to see, do they even go back and talk about Noelle? Do they go back and talk about Noelle helping them? Do we get anything from Baka? Do we get anything from Vessi? I'm excited for next episode. I know there's a lot of people that aren't super high on this season, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it so far. So
nearly half the women are gone.
Yeah.
4 of 9? Yeah.
Yeah, 4 of 9.
Who's the next woman gone?
Better yet, here's the question: who is gone next?
Gabler.
It can't be Gabler.
Oh, it's not going to be Gabler.
It can't be Gabler. You're right. It can't be Gabler.
Who's the other girl that's not Ellie? The one with the busting chin.
Janine.
Probably her.
Yeah.
Janine's next, or the girl that y'all said is gonna win. I forgot her name already.
Ellie.
Lindsay.
Cassidy.
Lindsay.
Cassidy. Lindsay's already gone. No, both Lindsay and Cassidy are under edited, not in the show. But apparently,
all right. Well,
Look, I have to admit, I wouldn't be upset if Owen goes. I'm not feeling Owen.
Owen's not going nowhere.
I'm not feeling Owen at all. Bye. He could go.
I feel kind of about Owen like I do about Cassidy, in that I don't have much of an opinion on him yet.
Oh, you have Owen's gonna win? Is that how you feel?
So, is there a chance that Sammy wins this game?
Yes.
No.
I think there is too.
There's
something about him that is
he's
so
endearing. He's nice. People like him. He works hard. There's a lot of things.
Kevin, is there more to see? Is there more to see?
There's so much more that I want to see about Sammy. Give me so much more Sammy. There's so much more I want to see about him. Same thing with Owen. You're saying Owen could go. There's just so much more from Owen that I want to see. You know,
I've seen it. I've seen enough. He can't carry a pot without spilling the water. I've seen enough.
that was all it took.
I've seen enough.
All right, so we will be back next Thursday to talk about the latest episode of Survivor. Kevin, do you have anything else coming up?
Nope, that's it. Come in and check us out next Thursday because I'll be here. Kiley will probably be here unless she gets sick again. And Sheldon will be here to talk about the show.
I don't know. Maybe I won't be here if another one of my winner picks leave. I'm down to 2 people or 3 people in my
draft. I have Jesse, Noel, Cassidy, Cody, and Ryan.
Oh, Cassidy!
Sheldon has Owen, Janine, Sammy, and Gio. Kevin has James, Carla, Ellie, Dwight, and Gabler. His boy.
Gabler.
So I got 5 people left. We all lost a person.
So that is.
Do you think that while Gabler's in the operating room, he puts blankets on people? Is that actually what he does? Is that his real job?
That's his actual job. Yeah.
He's a blanket person.
On that note, we will see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.